Members of Congress gathered this morning at the International Trade Commission to fight for American manufacturing jobs threatened by unfair Chinese trade practices. At the hearing, we spoke with elected officials who shared their reasons for being here today.
Well, I'm here because I wanted to speak with the Commission regarding the unfairly subsidized paper products that are putting our Ohio paper companies at a distinct disadvantage. We have a lot of jobs at stake in Ohio. We have a lot of paper workers in Ohio, and this is a huge industry, not only in Ohio but throughout America. I believe our paper industry can compete if they have a level playing field.
Well, I want to stand with Wisconsin workers, the steel workers, and the companies that provide the jobs and have provided the jobs for Wisconsin people for many years. But now what you have are countries like China and Indonesia dumping this coated paper into Wisconsin, into our country, in a way that's destroying the jobs in our area. So companies like NewPage and Appleton Coating are been laying off people in the last couple of years. So it's undercutting Wisconsin families, Wisconsin workers, and frankly not just the ones that work for the companies, but also all the jobs that are related to it, the grocery stores, the clothing stores, the electronic stores. So this is an attack on my state and the working people of my state, and I want this commission to turn it around.
Maine has 5 paper mills that produce coated paper. Those mills have the very best workers in the world. They're highly skilled, they're well trained, they're extremely dedicated. All we're asking for is for China and Indonesia to follow the rules, the international rules of fair trade. If that happens, then our paper workers can compete and succeed in selling their products anywhere in the world because they are the best.
Well, I'm here because it's incredibly important that we hold China and Indonesia's feet to the fire on coated paper and on every other industry in our country. We can compete with anybody if the rules are fair. If they are heavily subsidizing their industry and undercutting our ability to compete because of illegal subsidies, that's wrong. I call that cheating, and that's what this case is really all about. I'm all for exporting our products, not our jobs, and to make sure that we don't export our jobs, the rules have to be fair.
I'm here in support of the United Steelworkers of America, who represent the paper-making companies in Duluth and Cloquet in Minnesota, to stand up with them and for them against unfair, subsidized imports of Chinese coated paper products dumped in the U.S. marketplace at 18 to 20% below the cost of production in this country. There's a clear, deliberate strategy by the Chinese government to undercut U.S. production, dump their excess product in the U.S. marketplace. I've asked the International Trade Commission to impose countervailing duties on those subsidized Chinese products, just as the Trade Commission did on subsidized steel.
Wisconsin is #1 in paper making, and 6th District of Wisconsin is a major center of paper making and has been since the state was organized. And I'm here because I want to do all I can to make sure that in these difficult times we don't lose jobs because of unfair subsidized foreign competition from the Chinese or from any other country.
Our paper industry in this country is at risk, and I have a very important paper mill in my district. It is really the economic center out in our 2 western counties that pay their people 62% more than the average wage out there. It will be a huge economic hit if we lost this, and we do everything we can to make sure we keep it. And there can't be unfair trading practices with other countries subsidizing their industry so that ours can't compete. That's why I'm here.
The unfair practices are really beginning to be damaging to NewPage Corporation and its employees. That company provides over $38 million a year in revenue to over 400 employees, and it's time that we as representatives in the U.S. Congress stand up to countries like Indonesia and China and prevent them from taking advantage of our American companies and employees.
Well, I worked over 29 years at Great Northern Paper Company. I know very well what unfavorable trade deals that we've had and China manipulating the currency. The fact that the Chinese and Indonesia are dumping their coated paper here in the United States, which will affect 3 mills in the state of Maine and others around the country. And it's important that we tell the International Trade Commission that it is an unfair subsidies and what the effect will have on the communities, not only the mill workers, but also the communities.
My name is Congressman Dr. Steve Kagan. I'm proud to represent the paper industry in Paper Valley in northeast Wisconsin. I was here to testify on behalf of Tony Swineson, who works at Apple & Coated Paper, his wife Sherry, and Corey and Kayla, their children. They need their job here, not in China. So I was very pleased to be able to represent them in the International Trade Commission report. The findings are there, the facts are there. China has been cheating. Indonesia has been cheating. They've stolen our American jobs overseas, and it's time for that to end.
Well, we've lost a tremendous amount of manufacturing jobs in the state of Maine. It's not okay to be dumping coated paper. We lost a lot of jobs, and I don't think we would have been losing them. We make high-quality products. We've got the natural resources. But if the Chinese government is going in there and subsidizing the paper costs, we have no way we can compete. So it's very important that we get a favorable decision here and that people see this is an important issue to take on, particularly for people in the state of Maine, where manufacturing jobs are good jobs for us, where the forest products industry is very important to us, and we need to stand up on this principle and for the jobs.
Hard-working paper mill employees expressed their thanks to the elected officials present at the hearing.
We do want to say a special thank you to the senators, representatives. We had one governor here that came and testified in our favor because it's really important that we get a cross-section of America to support this case.
First, I'd like to thank the Congress members that came and appeared today. I have worked at the paper mill for 29 years, and in February I hope to celebrate my 30th anniversary with the mill. And without the mill, basically, most of the people in our area would not have jobs to support families.
We have a special thanks to go to all the representatives from both the House and the Senate that have appeared today. We thank them for being here.